Is this how you want to dominate as the Berserker? Then follow this beginner-friendly guide to bring the pain. We will start by quickly going over their perk bonuses, then looking at which perk skills to choose. Their perk bonuses are simply more weapon damage and damage resistance as you level up, along with night vision capability and clots not being able to grab you. Moving on to perk skills, Skirmisher is the more generally useful skill here, but if you have a dedicated medic to heal you, then Dreadnought will allow you to easily be the team's tank. Next, Vampire can help when playing solo, but Butcher helps you take down large and medium Zeds with fewer hits, leading to you taking less damage. For the next choice, Resistance gives you a passive resistance boost, but once you learn how to parry properly, Parry grants you many more benefits as you can see here. Next up, Smash is much better overall, and especially so for controlling large Zeds, helping you take them down faster with the bonus headshot damage helping out, whilst Massacre is only useful for using the katana to quickly slice through trash Zeds. Finally, for the Z-time skills, Berserker Rage will definitely help you if you're the team's tank, healing you and immobilizing all nearby Zeds, allowing you to regain control, but Spartan tends to be more useful overall, allowing you to move and attack with perk weapons in real time during Z time. This will allow you to quickly eliminate troublesome Zeds and or make your escape. Looking at perk weapons now, you will start off with the Crovel Survival tool. This weapon can see you through the early game, even being viable in the mid game by upgrading it. This is a good weapon to get used to and can effectively take down all but large Zeds. Quickly looking at the EMP grenade you also start off with, it will deal its damage in a medium spear around its detonation point, slowing and crippling any affected enemies, as well as disabling any special abilities, such as cloaking, rage, or using weapons for a short duration. Moving on to tier 2 weapons now, we have the nail gun, one of the few ranged berserker weapons available. It's able to fire one or multiple nails per shot, allowing you to take down even large Zeds quite quickly. This is a good weapon for some ranged punch, allowing you to take down husks and bloats from a distance. Nails also ricocheted off surfaces. Quickly going through the other tier 2 weapons, the katana, as mentioned previously, can be decent at cutting through a horde of lesser Zeds, but not for taking down large or even medium Zeds all too well. The fire axe deals high damage for this tier, but attacks slowly and is quite cumbersome to use. It can stun certain Zeds though. Moving up to tier 3 weapons now, we have the Clobber, which has great utility, being able to heal teammates and put out good damage to multiple Zeds with its toxic explosion, so long as it's loaded. It also has a fast attack speed, so is one of the weapons you can use for the rest of the match, being most effective when paired with a ranged berserker weapon. The other tier 3 option, the Pulverizer, can be a decent stepping stone to tier 4 or 5 weapons, being able to take down groups of small/medium Zeds with heavy attacks, causing an explosion if ammo is loaded, but in comparison to the Clobber, it lacks healing, has a much slower attack speed, a long reload time, and Skrakes will take reduced damage from its explosion, so I would avoid using this weapon. We'll now move on to the first tier 4 weapon, the HRG Tez Launcher. Also a ranged weapon, this is an odd weapon for the Berserker though, being in effect an assault rifle with an underbarrel EMP grenade launcher, which is useful for tying up lots of Zeds or EDARs. The primary fire deals microwave damage, whilst also setting enemies on fire, like the microwave gun for the Firebug. Although this is a solid weapon at tier 4, it would not allow you to block or parry, making the other tier 4 weapons much better for the Berserker. Up next, we have the static strikers, capable of a fast punch combo, with even the melee bash dealing good damage too. The heavy attack deals a fair bit more damage, but also inflicts enemies with an EMP effect, useful for taking down large Zeds more safely. Of all tier 4 weapons, this is one of the good choices to use for the rest of the match, combined with a ranged Berserker weapon to make a great combo. Time for a combo weapon now. It's the Eviscerator. This weapon has a dedicated ranged and melee attack. Primary fire for its ranged attack, secondary fire for its melee attack, and melee bash for a stab attack, using no fuel. This is all around a great weapon, allowing you to clear trash with the melee or ranged saw blade penetration, using the saw blades to take on troublesome enemies, from husks to flesh pounds, and even bosses. Best of all, you can block with it to get the parry bonus. Although it's a good combo weapon, to save ammo, it can always pay to have a backup ranged weapon as well, or even another melee weapon. Up next, the perfect weapon for a tank, it's the Bone Crusher. This weapon deals good damage, especially the shield bash. Best of all, though, it not only has the best blocking damage reduction, reducing damage by 70%, but can protect you from many ranged attacks, unlike other melee weapons, even some bosses' ranged attacks. This is also a great weapon to work towards that can be paired with a ranged weapon of your own. Last of all, we have the Berserker's only tier 5 weapon, the Battle Axe. This weapon deals great but slow damage with all its attacks, even knocking back enemies a bit, more so with the melee bash stab attack than primary or secondary. Timing this weapon's attacks and getting the parry bonus for the most damage turns this weapon into a death machine against all enemies, but especially large Zeds. This is another great weapon to pair with a ranged weapon. Some of these weapons hinge on how much you think you're going to parry. For example, as you can't parry with the HRG TES launcher and you suck at parrying, you should probably use this. So who cares if you can't parry? But in order to decide what the best weapon for you is, let's talk about blocking and parrying. Super important to the Berserker. To block attacks, simply press the Alt Fire Bind with a suitable melee weapon to reduce the amount of damage you will take from any incoming attacks. Even better though, if you start blocking just before an enemy is about to hit you with an attack, you will instead parry their attack, reducing damage even further and causing them to stumble back. You've parried correctly when you hear a loud thunk, combined with seeing concentric green circles emanating from the point of the parry. When combined with the parry skill, game saturation will increase for its duration, along with a distinctive high-pitched tone, letting you know that you are gaining its benefits. Now we know the best weapon for you, parrying or not, we must consider your target priority. You should be targeting most enemies that have a similar head or critical area height to you, allowing you to deal with them quite easily. You are also to get the attention of medium/large Zeds, whether you are tanking for a spot or kiting, to be able to absorb damage from their attacks with greater health and or blocking/parrying, and or to draw them away from the rest of your team, allowing you to take them out, or for other high damage dealing team members to kill them whilst they are distracted. Now you know what to attack. How should you handle the boss wave? In general, having a ranged weapon tends to help, as most bosses have to be kited in some way, but if you have a medic with you, you can get the boss's attention and tank for the team. In this case, stay close to the boss so that it will only attack you with melee or close ranged attacks, which you can parry. The Bone Crusher is great for this role, even letting you parry certain bosses' ranged attacks. If you choose to use ranged weapons, you should still try and get the boss's attention, as you're more durable than other perks, whilst kiting it around. Either way, keep up the kiting or tanking on the boss and you will emerge victorious. So, you now know how to be a great Berserker, but if you struggle with one of the bosses in particular, check out this playlist right here. Many thanks for watching, goodbye for now.